Okay. Good morning, everybody. Everybody who's joined us back. I see we got Mr. Todd Moore in San Angelo there. Good morning, sir. What else we got here today? Angelica's on. Thank you. I see Sterling Property Group's joined in from their office. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you all had a good week. Hope the homework wasn't too much for you guys, those of you that are joining in. Before we go ahead and get started, a quick note about the previous two classes as we're on day 3. The previous two classes, the first one was not recorded. I missed it, unfortunately. I forgot to hit the button. The second one, though, for context, which was a big one, it is recorded. I have yet to edit it and put it on the YouTube channel. As soon as I find time, I'm going to do that. So that way everybody who needs to catch up, I know it's been expressed that some people just can't make the classes all the time. They want to catch up. Those recordings will be available on YouTube just as soon as I can get the time to edit them and put them up. This one as well. This is being recorded today. We're going to go over SmartPlans today. And then kind of what I'm hoping is that as you go back and watch the recordings, they'll make just as much sense to you as if you were in the class. So, okay. So today we are going through SmartPlans, but first let's check. Todd, I think you're the only fella here who was also in my last class. How'd you do with the homework, sir? With 7 contacts getting to an 80% health score.
No problem at all.
Yeah? Very good.
I actually entered in over the weekend a little over 38, I guess, contacts I put in, and I probably had at least 5 or 6 that were almost complete.
Nice.
Over 80%.
Nice. Very good. That's what we like to see. And so, was it that hard to do? Did you already know the information about the people, or did you have to go back and ask them some things? Or
I had to go back and ask them a couple things, but little piddly things that will help me in the long run, like birth dates and stuff like that. So some of those really knocked it over the 80%. So that and doing like the tags, I made sure I put in tags. I made sure I put in the lead contacts, then whatever information I could possibly get. I did have a question on entering in on the contacts.
Yeah.
Putting in a PO box. I know that's not usually the best thing to do, but sometimes that's the only thing they have.
Yep. I reckon that would just go under address line 2. And then whenever we come to, we're doing campaigns next week, that would be where that would come in, when you can have the potential for sending out mailers. Okay. So I think if you, just as long as you have it somewhere on their contact card, that would be just anywhere. I think there's an option to select it somewhere when it comes to mailing. So
okay.
Perfect. Glad to hear it. And I'm glad to see that I was right when I said it really wasn't that hard to just go and ask these people and get their contact information. Awesome. So last week, what Todd was talking about with having 38 contacts, last week we also talked about the 201 Plus Club. 201 Plus Club is, as Brad Wells pretty well explained it last week, it's the number at which, if you have that many contacts in your database, you are a more successful realtor than people who do not have that. Obviously, the more contacts you have, yes, but this is the number at which agents who have 201 contacts in their database that are being worked on constantly, constant touches, constant reminders that, hey, I'm a real estate agent, I can help you with your real estate needs, so on and so forth. These people make $100,000 and up a year. Why this magic number? We don't know, because there's a pretty big disparity. If you have just 200, it's only like 80,000 a year. But this is the number we want to shoot for, of having active communication with that many contacts in our database. The easiest way to do that is through command, actually, and it's what we're going to be talking about today with SmartPlans. SmartPlans, they are just basically easy step-by-step instructions we can program in to do one after the other. And what we can do then is just set a certain amount of contacts to them, depending on how it needs to be. For example, we can make a smart plan where we are sending out We can make a smart plan where we're sending out invitations for movie nights to particularly clients that we know have children, right? We wouldn't want to necessarily send it out, like, let's say we're having a Disney themed movie. We would want to send that out to our clients that have children, come over, bring the kids, get some popcorn, sit down. We've rented out a room in the local theater. The smart plan we could set up that would send them like a month out. Hey, are you interested? You can RSVP. And then if they do that, then you can send 2 weeks out a reminder that it's happening, 2 days out a reminder that it's happening, and then the morning of you reminder that it's happening, where it's at and all that stuff. We can set all those steps up, and then all we have to do is press go, and it'll happen for us, right? So smart plans are really excellent. I'm going to jump over to share screen now, and I'm going to show you guys where we can find smart plans within our command. As we're going through here, we are on my demo account today, in case anything looks a little different from what was previous. So smart plans are going to be the little list with the gear symbol here, the fourth icon down on your list of apps over on the side. So if we go there, the first thing we're going to see is that if we've been messing around with smart plans, or if we have any smart plans, we're going to see those ones here. This, again, like most dashboards in command, it's just a general overview of what you have in the works right now. We've got things like, I've got a couple here where we've got an email blast one, a first contact one, and then just a test one I was using to show somebody. So these are all different smart plans that I've built in my smart plans app. We can see things like the duration. Email blast lasts for 1 day because it's just supposed to be one shotgun of emails that I send out to my database. First contact lasts for 7 days. And over those 7 days, we can also see next to it how many touches we have. A touch is any kind of contact we have with the client, right? We'll get into the different things you can put into a smart plan. Not all of them are touches. Some of them are tasks. And tasks, hey, Megan.
I'm the only one?
Yes, you're the only one in person. It's okay. Just to catch you up a little bit, we're going over smart plans today, and we're talking about why commanded and smart plans are the easiest way to make that 201 plus dream come true, right? Okay. So we've got things like email blast, first contact, yada, yada. The total touches and the duration are here, and we can kind of easily see them. What I'm going to show you guys first is the fact that with command, with the giant resource we have, that is all the realtors across Keller Williams, we don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to building a smart plan. We can go and find what other people have built and use it for our purposes. The place we do that is up here at the top next to the big word smart plans. You'll see you have the option for my smart plans. That's the list we're looking at right now. And then we have library. Library is where it's at, because this is a, funnily enough, library where we have featured smart plans. These are from people who just work across Keller Williams and have made these for their business, found they really work to a high degree, and have gone ahead and shared them with the rest of the company in an attempt to make your lives easier, right? So we can see here that we have Marty Miller, who, if you don't know Marty Miller, he runs the 66-day challenge off of YouTube. Great resource. I highly recommend it. He's actually how I learned command, was watching that 66-day challenge. Marty Miller here has made one that's a monthly call plan, because sometimes once a quarter is not enough. This simple smart plan will remind you to call any contacts you assign to it every 30 days, right? Now, what does that mean, Marty? Well, we can go ahead and we can view the steps using this button down here in the bottom left corner of the tab. We'll hit view steps, and all it'll do is say, it'll ask us to make a phone call. It'll wait 30 days, and then it's going to restart the smart plan, meaning it goes back to the make a phone call, right? It's a simple smart plan, reminding us to make a call once a quarter. But just that task might be what some people need, popping up on their home screen of command to remind them, hey, call Joe Smith. Hey, call, Sue, whatever. We also have, if we scroll down a little bit, we have, it says Keller Williams here. That top category we were in were featured. So these are the brand new ones that the community loves. But Keller Williams here, these ones have actually a little bit extra than anything else you can put in a smart plan. Particularly what I want to look at here are the biweekly neighborhood nurture and the 8x8 new contact engagement. 8x8 is a big one because it is the perfect guide to basically making a friend. I was reading the steps to it recently, and what it includes and what it involves is just things like call and ask how their kids are doing, call and ask what they thought of that app you set them up on, text them and see what their plans are for the weekend. That's the 8x8 new contact engagement plan. And again, we wanted to check on what exactly it says. We can go ahead and hit view steps right there, and it'll see send text, automated text, right? Touch task. Send the let's grab coffee email, right? Then it's going to wait 7 days, and it's just a couple of different of these contacts. I think it's 8. I think that's why it's called the 8x8. Yep. Yep. That is correct. That is what when Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, by the book, you mean the MREA. When Gary Keller and Jay Papasan wrote that book, the 8x8 is what they recommend everyone gets their contacts on when they first go into the database. Because again, the reason for that is it's a guide to making a friend, and we're in the business of building relationships. So we want as many friends who want to come to us with their real estate problems as they can. Bottom line is people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And these smart plans are easy ways to kind of automate being friends with people, reaching out to them, connecting with them, right? So I want everyone here to go ahead and add the 8x8 smart plan to their own personal library. The way we're going to do that is we're just going to hit the add smart plan button here. Now for the 8x8, it has a step in it where it actually puts somebody on a different smart plan called the My Monthly Neighborhood Nurture. Okay. Now, what the My Monthly Neighborhood Nurture does is it's a smart plan that we can't edit all that much because it's got an email it sends out that automatically takes from their contact profiles. If you guys will remember when we touched on that last week, neighborhoods were a thing we could assign to a contact. We could set them up with several different neighborhoods. Usually the best functionality of that is to show them where they're looking, or perhaps show them where they're selling, right? The neighborhood they're selling in and what the statistics are. That is what the Monthly Neighborhood Nurture draws from in order to send them market snapshots of those neighborhoods you have assigned to them in their contact. So again, it takes that little bit of communication we were talking about in the contacts class last week of making sure you know what neighborhoods they're living in, that they would probably sell in if they're living there, or what neighborhoods they're looking to potentially buy in if they're looking to buy real estate in the next 6 to 0 months, right? So it's going to ask us to want to download this as well. We're going to go ahead and download it just by clicking the download button right there. Success. So that's been added to our smart plans. And now if we come over here, we can hit the 8x8 contact engagement, download that one as well. Okay, so we've downloaded 2 smart plans. We'll get to those in a minute. I also want to show you guys another part of the library. There's a what's new. And you guys will notice there, that's not English. This smart plan library is worldwide KW accessible. So if you guys, I know especially down in San Angelo, you guys are a little bit further south than we are. I'm sure you guys have a little bit more, potentially Hispanic people. They're also, what's the statistic, Megan? Hispanic people are going to be the #1, like the biggest portion of the population who are home buyers in the next 10 years, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And so you can find smart plans that are already written for you in Spanish. And so long as you know what they say and what they mean, I don't speak Spanish. So long as you know what they're saying and what they mean, you can institute those for some Hispanic clients you need who maybe their primary language is Spanish, not English, right? So you've got that and the what's new category. And if we scroll back up to the next category, the top rated, these are the top rated 5-star smart plans that are on here. There's 2,839. That's just top rated. Could you imagine how many smart plans are across the whole thing? So we can go ahead and we can just search, what do we need? We need a call plan, right? So we'll type in call plan here. We'll hit enter. Here we go. We got the KW quarterly call plan. We got the Marty Miller monthly call plan. And then we've got a weekly call plan if you really, really, really wanted to get that client's business here's a weekly call plan we can institute. And we'll only bet you all of them are the same thing, where it's just call, wait X amount of time, restart the smart plan. We'll go over how to make one of those in a little bit. I want to make one of those for ourselves. For now, we are going to go ahead and we're going to jump over to back to my smart plans. And we are going to look at what goes into our 8x8 new contact engagement. Okay. The way we would look into the smart plan is the little pen button over on the left, the edit. We're going to go ahead and select that. And it's going to take us into our builder app. The builder app recently got an update. For those of you who might have played the smart plans before, this looks totally new. There's probably an option for a video from Donnie Brookman, head of KW Labs, that'll pop up. I wish I hadn't gotten rid of it and dismissed it myself because I didn't watch it. I was in the middle of something. But yeah, this whole new smart plan UI actually makes it a little more intuitive and a lot more fun to make smart plans. So we can see down the middle of our smart plan app there, this is what the actual activities are, okay? We've got up here, we can add wait if we wanted to. So let's say you were getting people onto the smart plan, but you didn't want the smart plan to wait or to engage right away. You can set a wait before it starts. I couldn't do that before. This one's going to wait 7 days after day 1. It labels the days for you, so it's kind of easy to see. So again, if you set this off on a Monday, then every Monday is when these actions are going to go through. Wednesday, every Wednesday, for example, so on and so forth. And we can see here, send text. We want to see what that full text says. We're going to hit show. Hey, contact first name, contact last name. It's agent first name, agent last name from team name. Would love to grab coffee sometime. Let me know what your schedule looks like in the next few days. Does anybody know, pop quiz, does anybody know what those words inside of the little squiggly brackets are called? These little squiggly brackets. Contact first name, contact last name.
Wait, what that?
Or the definition, what does it do? Exactly. Exactly. It automates things for you. Those are called merge fields. So let's say you set up 3 people. You set up Joe, Tyler, and Sharon to the smart plan, okay? It's going to go ahead, and when you assign all of them to it, it's going to go ahead and say, hey, Joe, or hey, Tyler, or hey, Sharon, right? It's just like those automated emails you get from, JCPenney or, any of the big retail stores, and it says, hey, Thomas, hey, Megan, hey, Todd. They're not emailing just you. I'm sorry. I'd hate to break it to you. There's not somebody at JCPenney that likes you that much that's just emailing you. They use merge fields like this, and we have access to those here. It'll also put in your name pulled off of your marketing profile that we went over in day 1. That's going to be something you can change. And it also helps, you can see this is kind of based for a team. We can edit and delete that out if we wanted to for those of us who aren't in a team. And then agent first name, last name, it'll pull from your marketing profile. So that's fine. If we wanted to edit it, we just have to go ahead and hit, I think it's just this edit button. Nope, that's the name. So would it just be in here? Yes, it would be. Okay.
If I have
Add a calendar, elaborate.
add your school.
So that way, like for what purpose? Mm-hmm.
Go on there and
That's not really the functionality of smart plans. There are apps that you can integrate into Command. It's either called Calendly or Appointly. It's one of those ones. You can integrate that into your command, and I can go over that with you after class if you'd like. But okay, yes, I get what you're saying now. Yes, so with Calendly and stuff like that, you do have the option to have a link. I've used it once or twice. You have the option to have a link, and then you can go put the appointment through. You could totally take that URL, that hyperlink, and put it into a smart plan. Yes, that's a good. Yeah. Yes, and keep track of everything. Exactly. Automating our life is the reason for SmartPlans. So let's say here that we wanted to edit this text. All we have to do is we click on the step inside of the day, okay? And we're gonna go ahead over here, and I'm gonna click on this, maybe. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing here. Like I said, they changed it. Can you not edit this part? I might not be able to edit this part. How embarrassing. Well, I have totally fooled myself into talking about something that doesn't exist. Cannot edit what it says in these steps, but that's okay. Because you can also make copies of this and then edit it that way if you want.
Thomas,
Anyways.
Thomas.
Yeah.
If you go to the top on the right where you just were, there's a little like edit button, like the little pencil.
Yep.
Up here at the top, and that you should be able to edit from there.
I knew you could edit. I was not seeing the pencil. There's always a pencil somewhere. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get rid of the from team because I'm an independent agent and I don't work on a team. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead after we make that change. We're just gonna hit save changes. It's gonna change in there and boom, that's it. It's easy like that to change. And we can go through and we can look at a couple of things. And there's one step here we were talking about where it's add to SmartPlan. Okay. That's where it puts you on that monthly neighborhood nurture. The thing with that is that I was looking at this the other day and I noticed that there's something that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Is that it adds them to that monthly neighborhood nurture. And as soon as it adds them to that, they're going to get an email. So on day 29, they're going to also be added in the background without you touching anything automatically to the My Monthly Neighborhood Nurture SmartPlan. And they're going to get an email that says, hey, you were looking in this neighborhood, this neighborhood, this neighborhood. Here's the market snaps for that neighborhood. And then 7 days later, it wants you to make a call. And what does it want you to make a call about? It doesn't say anything. It just wants you to make a call. But then 2 weeks later, 14 days later, from when we put them on the neighborhood nurture, it asks you, it wants you to send a text. It's going to automatically send a text for you of what did you think of the neighborhood nurture? Well, it's been 14 days. What if they forgot what that was? What if they opened it as soon as they got it and they were like, oh, this is cool, and then forgot about it? It's been 14 days and they're like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and let's move that so that way 1 week after we've done it, we send the neighborhood nurture, we're texting them and following up with them about a little bit closer on the follow-up, right? All we have to do to drag stuff between days is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these little 6 dots here, right? We're going to grab them and we're just going to drag them up into day 36. You'll notice day 43 still sticks around. Did not used to do that in the old SmartPlans. So we're going to take this phone call because we don't want the 2 touches in a day. That's not the point of the 8x8. We're going to take the phone call and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to drag it down to day 43. Okay. And now we've got it. So that way it makes a little more sense. And it's got add to that monthly neighborhood smart plan. 7 days later, follow up about it. And then 7 days after that, make a call, be friendly, be a buddy, right? After that, there's going to be one last task. Send email to whoever, just a follow-up email, just, hey, how you doing? And then that's the end of the smart plan, okay? At that point, we could put it on repeat, but it doesn't really make sense because we've got stuff like adding smart plans in there. And it starts from the beginning, which would be like, hey, brand new friend. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but we do have the add repeat option. And if we wanted to extend it longer, make it maybe more of a long-term thing than just the 8x8, we can go ahead and we can add days and add tasks here. We're going to go into how to build a smart plan in just a sec. For right now, let's go ahead and save the plan. And I'm going to take any questions that anybody has because I know I've been talking for questions. All right, awesome. Glad to know you guys follow along good. This class has been one of the best I've taught. There's not been a lot of questions, not been a lot of people getting lost. Loving it. You guys are great. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We saved this plan. And we're gonna go ahead and we're going to X out of it. And I'm gonna show you guys how we are going to build a plan. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Little blue button, top right corner, like I've said before with command, that's where you go to create. That's where the magic happens. We are going to go ahead and select that little blue button right there. Oh, hang on. I'm noticing that on the big screen for Megan, there's boxes in the way. Let's see, go fixing that for you. There you are, man. Okay, so blue button, top right corner, create. We're going to go there, and it's going to take us back to that create applet after we put a name in for the smart plan. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in just, Todd was talking about the fact that he got some birthdays in. So let's build a birthday smart plan. Really easy, really simple. We're going to do birthday texts. Okay. Great plan. Okay. My mouse pad doesn't work so good. All right. So now we have a totally blank smart plan that we can do whatever we want. Okay. The way the new smart plans work is that basically what's in the middle here, this day, the way I had it described to me when I sat in the training for it was that that is your coffee cup, okay? When you go to make yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a cup of hot chocolate, whatever it is you drink, do you make the coffee first, pour it, and then get a mug? No, that's how you pour stuff all over your counter and make a mess. You need your mug first, and then the coffee goes into the mug, right? That's what the days and the tasks are. The tasks are these over here on the left, and then your days are here in the middle. Coffee on the left, mug in the center, right? So for this, we're going to want to go ahead and we're going to want to drag a send text over to this, okay? We're going to want to go ahead and enter in whatever the text says. There's a couple of options here we can see. The first two are send an automated text or create a text task. Sending an automated text is something that we have integrations through an app called Twilio. We'll get into Twilio in a minute. I'm going to write it down on the board so I don't forget it. If you guys already have set up Twilio some way, if it was part of your onboarding locally, if you have Rainmaker who's helped you do it, anything like that, Twilio is how we're going to be able to send automated text messages through SmartPlans. We're going to go over how to get that near the end of class. We can also create it as a text task. Twilio does, it's a subscription service. It's like $10 a month for like 3,000 text messages. But if you don't want to pay that $10 a month, if you don't feel the need for it, we can go ahead and we can just set it as create a text task. And what that'll do is it'll remind us, hey, text these words to this person instead of just doing it automatically for us. So it kind of takes out the automation of it for us. But again, it's the free option that's available there, right? The next two options we have under text details are static and dynamic. Static simply means that for this smart plan, there is one text message that could go out to anybody. So let's say you assign 9 people to the smart plan after you get it set up, right? But let's say that some of those 9 people might know each other. You can set up a static text, and what will happen is each of those 9 people will get the same words, will get the same general text from you. You could use the merge field like we talked about, and I'll show in a second, to put in their personal first and last name. But other than that, it's going to be a pretty cut and copy, just like those emails we get from Fanny. It's going to be pretty cut and copy text message that goes to them, right? Dynamic allows that we could make 3 text messages if we wanted to, slightly different wording for how we're wishing them a happy birthday on each one. And we could go ahead and put in those merge fields like we were talking about where it gives them their name, and then send those out. And what it'll do is it'll randomly assign each of the 9 people one of those 3 text message variants, right? So if you want more like personality, if you know you've got a couple of contacts in your database or husband, wife, you can go ahead and set dynamic, and therefore you have, you know, kind of the potential of not coming across as so robotic in your texts that you send out, right? For the purposes of demonstration, we're going to go through with just static. It's not really that much different to do dynamic though. You would just hit dynamic and it gives you a couple of different texts. You can add another text option, but for the purposes of demonstration, we are going to remain static. So now we go ahead and we enter the texts. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to start with a simple HBPY, happy birthday. And again, we don't know who we're sending it to, so this is where we use our merge fields, okay? This little drop down right here, add merge tag. It's going to come up with your list of what you have option to, right? So contact first name, contact last name. That's obviously we want to go ahead and we're going to be wishing them happy birthday on a first name basis to make it seem really more personal. We're going to hit in a couple of exclamation marks to make it really impactful. Personally, I'm going to add an emoji in there of just a birthday cake because emojis are the way we communicate in the modern times. Hieroglyphics, everything that is old is new. All right. One thing to note about merge tags before we move on past and build the rest of this is that those brackets, that's where your text is going to start and finish, okay? So if I had it like this, and I know it's a very small difference, but where the bracket is touching the Y in birthday, what that's gonna look like is, let's say I was sending it to someone named Thomas, it would look like happy birthday, Thomas. It'd be all, that last one would be all one word. It would look a little odd, right? So we have to make sure we're putting spaces before, and if there's more words coming after it, after any merge fields that we have, right? So that's something to keep in mind when we're using merge fields. But other than that, merge fields are really awesome. We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna come over here. I'm going to space it out again. And I'm going to say, just basically write what my grandma writes on all my birthday cards. I hope you're having a great day. You know, Megan, we went over ChatGPT. We went over it in day one, and we are going to use it when we build a more complicated smart plan in just a little while. So Megan brings up a good point for those of us who are not creative, who don't get birthday cards from their grandma. They could just copy paste from like I do. I'm sorry if you don't get a birthday card from grandma. You can go to ChatGPT, just like we talked about in day one. This is actually, I think we've talked about it a little bit in every class because it's a good resource to use. We can go over ChatGPT, third party, sign in, and we can ask it, hey, write me a short happy birthday text. And we can personalize it, make it a little better, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to make it too personalized to a specific person we have in mind, because again, the whole point of a smart plan is that we're kind of mass sending out to our database. And we could then copy that and put it in here. Right now, I'm just going to finish off this. I hope you're having a great day. Hoping you the best. It does not allow GIFs or images into texts yet. It is something they are working on. When we did the class, tech trainers only class for this new update, they said they were working on getting text involved and getting GIFs and stuff like that involved. A lot of technology. Yeah. Go to the labs. You got it. I'll show you where to do that, but you can suggest stuff like this to Killer Williams. Hoping you the best. And then we can hit a comma and we can use the merge tag again and put agent first name space agent last name, and that'll go ahead and make it sound like it got signed off from us, right? Hoping you the best, Thomas. Yep. Yep. Very well could be. You got a lot of ideas, Megan. I want you to go from this class and build all of them, okay? And then publish them to the Smart Plan library so we can teach people about it. All right. So we've gone ahead and we've built this. That's all we need for this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit add step. Add step at the bottom is the same as save. And then that's going to be it. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. And they've added this in as well in the new update. And it's very, very cool. Before, you had just any time of day is when your text would go out. anytime from, I think TCPA rules are 9 to 7 or something like that, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can send a text message, basically the general hours of the day where people are awake and doing things. But now we can actually specify when we want text messages to go out, okay? When should the text be sent? Day one. Time of day cannot be specified. Well, I think on text messages, because TCPA, yeah, it says down there, TCPA, you must comply with it. But for emails and stuff like that, we now have the option to send it between time periods. It's 4-hour time period, so it's like 8 to 12, 12 to 4, 4 to 8 again. And that way we're not sending our clients, hey, here's your KW market snapshot of all your neighborhoods, your monthly neighborhood nurture. We're not sending that at 4 in the morning. Nobody wants to get buzzed at 4 in the morning to look at neighborhoods. We're real estate agents. I don't even think we want. So we're going to go ahead again. We're going to save changes. And that is everything we have for that. Now, really quick, let's go over Twilio right now while it's this big red screen here on my thing. We talked about in day one integrations, okay? Integrations in the apps that we can add onto command that we can get through the marketplace. Twilio is exactly one of those. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit subscribe in KW Marketplace for it to take us right there. Hoping that works for me. I'm on a demo account, so I really hope that this works for me. Otherwise, I might have to switch over to somebody else's account really fast. Twilio. Okay, there we go. Twilio. So as we can see, it's $3.16 a month. Interact with your contacts via SMS, MMS directly in command. We're gonna click on that. The view details. Over here we see that it's got different plans, like I said. So that $11.80 I was talking about, that about $10 gets you 1,500 credits. Credit just means text, okay? 140 or 160 character text, I want to say. Does it say on here? It'd be really nice if it said on. So that's also another reason why I think they don't allow photos and stuff like that, is because that makes credits go up to like automatically 3, and you can burn through your credits really fast that way. So yeah, I'm pretty sure 1 credit equals 1 text of about 160, right? So based off of how much you're going to be using Twilio, and you can always go back and change your subscription rate as well. It's nice like that. 160 character text. So if you guys want to go ahead and get Twilio right now, so that way you can be using SmartPlans at the highest level, all we have to do is select the buy now option. It'll ask you to pick which plan you want once we get here. So up to 300 credits. So that would only be 300 short texts. If we're just sending out, and it's a month, per monthly, I believe. If you're just sending out birthdays to your database, 300 is going to do it, right? If you're not texting that much further through this, 300 is going to do it. We can go down to 6,000 for $40 a month, you know, something like that. So go ahead and find what's going to work best for you guys if you're interested in doing this, and go ahead and select that. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to leave it on the extra small on the 300. It's going to go ahead. If we have a discount code, I don't have one on me right now that I can think of, but all it is you just select this. We go ahead and we hit continue. Billing details, we'd go through this, through that, so on and so forth. We're not done setting it up after we purchase it, though. After we purchase it, we still have to go back to commands. Give me a second here. Let's go back to commands. Get out of the smart plan. You guys go ahead and punch in your billing details and sign your lives away to Twilio. I'm going to go to where we need to go for Twilio. I'm going to go on somebody else's profile. I'm going to pause the screen share for a minute. While you guys are doing this, any questions that pop up, just throw them at me, okay? No. It's all just because it's based off of next storm. One of those things again, I'm gonna show you how to get through the little question mark and go to suggest an idea, because that's where you need to be funneling these ideas to it. That they got a forum that labs the people who work on command back regularly for what the top idea is, and then they work on implementing it into. So there's an option.
Hey, Thomas?
Yeah.
What does it say? 1 credit equals 160.
160 character text, CHAR. I just abbreviated it because I didn't want to spell character. So remember how
Thank
tweets
you.
back in the day used to be just 140 characters? It's the same thing as that. 1 credit equals 1 tweet, thereabouts. So. Yep. That's also why sometimes if you're really using this at a high level, as far as the character limit, the nice thing to do is to kind of overspend and buy more than you think you're going to need. If you want to math it out and figure out exactly how many people you're putting on a smart plan, how many characters in the text, blah, blah, blah. Or you could just go for the $40 thereabouts option, which gets you about 6,000 credits and be good there. We used to use a program similar to Twilio to send text messages to our agents, the mass text messages that you guys would get reminding you of trainings, events at the market center, stuff like that. Those all, we had 3,000 credits, and unless we were sending out like every text had a picture embedded in it, which automatically used 3 credits, we had, I think, 5,000 credits, and we never really went over them until 1 month where we had like 20 events last year. So.
Hey, Thomas, question for you.
Go ahead, sir.
On the main page where your homepage of the SmartPlans.
Yep.
I have like 17 on there, and I've never done any other than this birthday text.
Are you on a team, Todd?
No, I am not.
No.
I guess my question is, over on the right-hand side, it says actions. If you go to the 3 dots, it says you can delete it or publish to library. If I delete it, does that delete it completely out of everybody's system or just out of my main page?
It only would delete it off of yours, I believe. No, he's saying he's got SmartPlans he doesn't remember subscribing to. So yeah, if you go ahead and you hit delete on that, it's going to go ahead and get rid of it for you off of your thing.
Okay.
Standard, when I didn't talk about this when we did the library section, when we're in the library and we download something, usually all it does, I think it asks you if you want to rename the smart plan, but usually all it does is it puts the word my in front of the smart plan's name. So if all of those there, Todd, say my 8x8, my monthly neighborhood, my blah, 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 my this, that means that it might have been in a past training we were doing down there in San Angelo, might have been somebody else. If you have an admin or something messing around with smart plans, I'm not certain. But if it says my in front of it, that just means that you downloaded it off of the library. And if it doesn't say that, it's more than likely you built it and just forgot about it. So.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So I think I've got it to where that I really wish I could pay for 20. Yep, the TCPA.
Yeah.
They try to put that on everything because it's a big, big thing that some realtors are getting boinged with, and we don't want to have that happen to us. Okay, so if we, once we purchased Twilio, we have to go back to that integrations page we went over on the first day. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again, pull it up here. Give it a second, there it is. Okay, so we are back. We are back in the integrations page. Remember, we can get here by just going under our name and selecting settings. Whenever we select settings, it automatically drops us here in this integrations page, right? It's not gonna do it because I'm already there. But yeah, this is our integrations. These are the apps we've taped onto command to make things a little easier, a little better. When you come down to Twilio, I can't remember exactly what the button's going to ask you, but it's going to be something to the effect of configure or a finish setup, something like that. You're going to need to go in there and you're going to need to select a phone number. Now, this is where people start to kind of get a little wiry, panic, be like, well, what do you mean select the phone number? I have a phone number. I have my phone. I want my business to go through my cell phone. I don't need a new phone number. You don't. But the thing is that Twilio needs a phone number to send things from, and because your plan's already with AT&T or Verizon or whoever, they can't use that phone number. It's already been claimed. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to claim a phone number that's available on the list. I wish I had a pull-up that I could explain it better with. I totally blanked on that one. You're going to go ahead and select a phone number, and what is going to happen is that's going to be pretty much a proxy phone number. When the SmartPlan sends a text out, yes, the text is going to come from that number, but then when people respond, it's going to come back to your phone, as long as your phone number is connected to your marketing profile and stuff, or your business profile. One of the profiles. If your information's all accurate and all your profiles that we went over on day one, you should have no troubles getting the text messages to come back from you. If you're kind of cautious about it, you want to work out how it plays. I know that's something I like to do whenever there's something new. You could probably get with another agent in the office, try sending each other a text SmartPlan and see, respond to that text, see how that works. But yeah, Twilio, that's how Twilio works. Is it needs that proxy phone number. For example, I'm on Jenny's command right now. Jenny's phone number is 325-320-1841. She's the OP. You guys can know that. It's not a big deal. But her Twilio number is 325-252-6556, right? I think that's located out in Baird. It tells you where it's at. It's like, it's coming from Baird. It's coming from this. We don't really have to worry about that because it's just texts. But that's the number that technically the text gets sent from. And then when people respond, Jenny gets the responses straight to herself, right? So. Okay.
Yeah.
Or there's an option you can merge with your current cell provider.
It wasn't.
Yeah. So that's Twilio. That's how we can go ahead and we can create stuff. Wow, this hour went by fast. I was going to give you guys like 20 minutes to build a smart plan, but we only have 10 minutes left. Let me see if I can go ahead and see what else. Really, that is all we've got besides homework for the class. So do we have any questions about smart plans before we wrap up?
Hey, Thomas,
Go ahead,
I noticed on the scheduling that you had from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12.
Yeah.
What classes are those two?
So the way we originally planned it, you can go ahead and disregard those. The way we originally planned it was that because these classes, like you've been in every one, I appreciate that. They're day 3 we're on. Megan, for example, I don't know if you've attended any of the previous ones. I don't think you have. Jumping in on day 3 is not exactly best for getting the full value of the class. So we were kind of staggering, and then I would restart like an hour later. So today, for example, I was supposed to start day 1 for that 11 o'clock class, but nobody signed up for the 11. People just have been jumping in and out of this class. So you can go ahead and disregard those ones, unfortunately. I'm going to see about getting them pulled off of the calendar and stuff like that. Yeah, just this class is what's going on for Command Classroom right now. So
I just didn't want to miss anything because I'm trying to get as much as I possibly can out of it.
yeah, absolutely, Todd. And you're not missing anything. You've been to every class, and you're going to get a gold star at the end of all this if you keep showing up.
I prefer a cookie.
Cookies work too. I can see what I could do. So yeah, okay. So if there are no questions, homework for today is pretty simple. You guys need to put at least 7 or more contacts on a smart plan. Any smart plan. Could be that birthday one that we made. It could be one of the ones you pull off of the library, that's totally fine as well. If you guys are bringing in new clients from a client event like an open house or anything like that, if you get a new one off your website or referral, anything like that that's coming in over the next little while, you can shove them on the 8x8. That counts. I just want 7 or more contacts on a smart plan between now and next Friday. So that's homework for the day. That's class. If there are no other questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate everybody coming out, and we will see you all